Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good today and hope you're all good. Now today I'm going to be talking about the latest news. Obviously Zinchenko, all sorts of stuff like that I'll be going through as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy my video today. I hope some of you guys will be here in the chat as well. And of course guys, if you've got any questions about Arsenal, do drop them through. I'm more than happy to go through them as well. Obviously big up to the chat, big up to Aldi. Big up Sophie, big up yourself, I hope you're good. Yeah, big up to the chat, hope you guys all good and having a great day wherever you are in this world. So yeah, obviously I'm going to be speaking about Zinchenko. So I mean, this isn't a surprise at all, with Fenerbahce have made an offer for him and it looks like it's progressing quite fast. And I think this is a good move for him. I think we need to move him on now. Obviously, the price is about 15 million euros, which isn't a surprise to me. I think, if we're being honest, he's probably going to be worth that now. I think he's got injuries, he's got high salary, so I think it's not really a surprise to hear that news. So yeah, I think that wasn't really a surprise to see him valued at that sort of price at all. But obviously I'll share my screen, guys, and we can obviously chat about it in a bit more depth. Big up United_fan. I hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. So yeah, obviously I'll just share my screen, guys. And I'll just briefly speak a bit about Zinchenko. So let me just share it here. So it says here that initially reported on Sunday that Fenerbahce had inquired about Zinchenko's situation after with club sporting director holding a meeting in England with the player and Berta. The Gunners reportedly set an asking price of 15 million euros, but added that if Fenerbahce could reach an agreement, they would facilitate the deal and get it done. Ozak informed Zinchenko that Jose Mourinho is keen to sign him with the intention to use him as the midfielder. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know, we've not used him as a midfielder as much. We should have used him and utilised him much more in that position. Gave an update on Monday morning that Fenerbahce have submitted an official offer for Arsenal for Zinchenko, with negotiations between the parties progressing quickly. The bids reports are yet to be picked up by the English media, and it's worth waiting to see what happens on that front before getting too invested in the idea of the move. The Turkish media have a habit of linking Arsenal players with moves to the country on a regular basis. Obviously, Fenerbahce have also been linked with Trossard in July, but those claims were shot down. So, obviously, with Zinchenko, that is pretty much the latest. There's so many other articles you want to read, but it does seem that Arsenal are quite adamant on the 15 million. I think that would be good. I think that would be good for me to see us get that for him, because I think, we're being honest, if we're being completely realistic for Zinchenko, you're probably only going to get 10 to 15 million euros. I think you're going to get a big amount for him. I think he's just, if you pay him in midfield, he's a much better player in midfield than he is at left back. I think at left back he is a bit of a liability defensively, but I think in midfield he could be quite a useful player. And for him, I'm sure he wants to play a bit more minutes. So yeah, I'm not really surprised by this. I completely get it from his point of view. So yeah, and we've played with a very good manager in Mourinho as well. So I'm interested to see this move, if it gets done. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see if it gets done, but I have no doubt it will get done. Big up Ron, good to see you in the chat. Surprised Jose is going for him is he literally only scores 1 goal a season, saying that the Turkish league is a Turkish league, so he could do a job, especially if he wants to convert him. I think he's definitely going to be in the position that in midfield he's going to do a lot better than he would do at Arsenal in midfield. So I think it's a different league. I think it probably suit him a bit better. And for the price, there's probably not going to be much pressure on him, but I hope he does do well there. This one definitely seems as though it's going to get done. So I am very interested to see if it's going to be done within, the next week. Obviously, it's Monday today, so we're going to hear any more news about it within, these next few days. Probably we will. So hopefully we're going to hear some more news about that, because I think he needs to move on. I think we need to get money for him. I think we have to cash in on some of these players, to be honest with you. But yeah, Arsenal do seem to want to get as much money as we can for him. I think if we're being honest, 10 to 15 is probably the price you're probably going to get for him. I think it's going to be hard to get a big amount of money for him. So yeah, obviously that is late on Zinchenko. Hopefully we're going to hear a bit, maybe an update on that as well pretty soon. But yeah, I'm happy that we obviously heard that. As you guys know, I've done videos about Fabio Vieira as well. He's the one that I think we'll be moving on to. So I do think now, maybe in this sort of last period of the window, we're probably gonna see quite a few outgoings happen. And I think that'll be really important. I think we need to have quite a few outgoings happen for the club, because if we're being honest, we do have a lot of players that we need to move on ASAP. So hopefully, guys, we're gonna move these players on. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what we're gonna do. With the money, we're going to bring in Nelson, we're going to bring in Eze, and we're going to bring a left winger in. Obviously, guys, I think it would be ideal if we could bring in another player or two, but yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what we actually do, what is going to happen for us. But I'm interested to see this deal go through. Yeah, Fenerbahce with Mourinho, I think Mourinho's a winner. He's a great manager. So yeah, I think it's probably a good thing for both parts to get this deal done. And obviously, Mourinho is a winner. He can really get the best out of players. So I personally only think this is a good thing for me and for Arsenal. We need to start moving on these players, like the Zinchenkos, Vieira, the Conga. I mean, obviously Martinelli Trossard, one of them, maybe might be moving. Yeah, we've got other players as well, so this for me has to be done as soon as we can. So hopefully, guys, we'll get this deal done and yeah, get as much money as we can. I know Reece Nelson as well is another one, so definitely think the Vieira one will get done. We just have to see if Reece Nelson's going to move on as well to Fulham or to another Premier League side. We're going to have to see what will happen there. Big up to Ron. It's good that Arsenal moves to Deadwood, as it's much better to give them a run out. Yeah, I think to be fair, I do feel as though some of these players are quite happy being around the team. I mean, I remember when Al Nani was here, he was generally quite happy being around Arsenal, and that's probably why he was here so long. And he always had a good attitude, a bit like Tierney. Tierney obviously came back off loan. Tierney wasn't really a starter, but he was a professional like Rob Holding. So I think some of these players are generally happy being, around the team. But I do think for them it's an important time now for them to move on. I think we need to just be ruthless in this window, get rid of some players that we don't need. And more I do get is, with some players you need that depth in the team. You need to be able to obviously rotate, and I think we've brought in quite a few players, especially defensively, for that. I think defensively we're good with the players that we have at the moment, so I don't have any worries about that. But I do think that it's good that we're adding a bit of depth in this team as well. So I think we need to move players. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think we need to. I think we just have to move some of these players out the door. And yeah, I hope we will bring in more players. But I don't know. I want to see what we're gonna do. I have no idea who we're gonna bring in. Obviously, Eze, I'm not with Eze. The thing is with Eze, guys, I've not obviously done many videos about him because there hasn't been many reliable sources that have spoken about him, and I don't want to just tell you guys things aren't true. So yeah, I'm interested to see, what will happen next for sure. But yeah, that's obviously the latest on Zinchenko. Obviously, let me know what you make of this news today. This sort of came about last night a bit, but obviously, if you guys have any questions for me, do send them through as well. I'm more than happy to, go through them as well, answer any questions you guys have for me today. Yeah, would be good move for Zinchenko. Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be good for him to get everyone out, get some regular minutes, and I think for us, we just need to cash in on him. If we can get 15, 15 million euros for him, then that'd be the better. That'd be better. I think the more we can get from, obviously with Vieira as well. I think we have to be realistic about the money. You're not going to get an awful lot of money for some of these players. I think obviously for Vieira, you're probably going to get what we think we're going to get, like maybe 20, something like that. So I think with Zinchenko, I think this is the price we probably expected anyway. So yeah, this isn't a surprise either. So yeah, it is what it is with these. I hope we can just get some more money. Obviously, I hope we can move on to more players like Jesus, other players like that as well. So yeah, I just want us to be ruthless this summer. I know we've done quite good at the players we brought in, but we need to be ruthless. We need to bring in the right signings. So hopefully we'll continue to do that going forward. But yeah, obviously, if you've got any questions, do drop them in. I'm gonna share my screen for a sec just to see if there's any more information about the Zinchenko deal. But yeah, obviously, big up to you guys that are here. And if you've got any questions, send them through. I'm more happy to answer them. I'll probably be on here for maybe till 2 today or a little bit less. But yeah, I'll be on here for a while today anyway. So We're happy to answer some questions. I'm just gonna make sure my laptop's on charge quickly, guys. I'll give me 2 minutes. We'll be back in a moment. Hey guys, I hope you can hear me now. I'm just going to share my screen. I thought we could have a look while I open up my light if there's any more news about Eze. Obviously, I have been quite, not said much about Eze because I don't want to read stuff that isn't reliable. But I'm just going to share my screen. Obviously, guys, I'm happy to answer any questions. When I come back in a sec, I just want to see if there's any updates on Eze. So bear with me, guys. I just want to share my screen today. So let me just do it this way. Yeah, so this is just some season news about Eze. So Arsenal had a huge boost for Eze. Eze's transfer still got confirmed, 25 million deal. Arsenal pursue Eze may have had a huge boost with Halal signing Enzo Milik from Stuttgart. Let me just see if there's any more. I don't really care about that really. Let me just go. This is more about Fabio Vieira. Okay, fair enough. I want to see if there's anyone news about Eze because I'm dying to know if we're going to get him. Obviously, Eze did play against Crystal Palace yesterday, so I'm hoping we're going to hear. It's not really much here really about Eze. I mean, I can read this, but I don't really know what to believe these days with this news. Eze deal moves a step closer after Bert's decision. Arsenal still keen on Eze. Arsenal have spent 200 million this summer with obviously 60 players, but still more business to do before it closes in September. Obviously, it's not. See, there isn't much to say about Eze because all it says here is that Arteta is saying let's see what happens in terms of where the squad is in the next few weeks. We're actively looking at options as well. There are a few players maybe they might have to leave as well, so we'll be open to see what happens. Obviously, he's not giving much away. There is a. Yeah, there's not really. So I can read this. The occurring signs over move for Eze, which with other puzzle pieces falling into place. Mirror Football understands Stuttgart are continuing discussions over former Porto midfielder. Arsenal seeking a package for 20 million euros, which I've already told you about, guys. So obviously the funds may go to Eze. Palace don't want to sell the star player, but Arsenal believe he is keen on a 60 million move, which could still materialise. Also, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but there was actually an update about Lookman yesterday. Let me just try and find it. Arsenal news. Lookman. Let me see. So Arsenal snubbed. Yeah, let me have a look at this one. There was an update about him. I mean, I'd like him ideally. I think we need a bit of improvement. Arsenal snubbed up 14-way move at Lookman. Sorry guys about that. So yeah, Arsenal reported to being snubbed in a deal with Lookman. He's looking for way out of Bergamo, the summer transfer window. Let me have a look if there's anything about Arsenal. I'm trying to. Interesting Premier League is said to be shown in Wandsworth born Lookman, with Arsenal testing the waters. According to Sportal, a big money approach from the Gunners has been rebirthed by Lookman, who has no desire to return to the country of his birth. So maybe he's happy where he is. Arsenal are willing to pay more than Atlanta are demanding, but Lookman wants to stay in Italy and is willing to waiting on Inter to increase their bid. A deal could be completely quickly if that happens, with personal terms reported to being agreed. So to me, it doesn't seem like he actually wants to come to England. So I would leave that as it is, to be honest with you. But yeah, there isn't really much. Obviously, with Eze, there hasn't been much developing, which is a real shame because I think Eze, we want to get that done. But at least we're looking sort of on Lookman, looking at other things which we should. We have to have a plan B. I think obviously if we are going to sell players, obviously like whether it's a Reece Nelson, whether it's Zinchenko, Vieira, you're going to get. I think for those players you can get about, say you get 50 million for all of them players in total. You could use that towards someone. So we have to make the most of what we've got left in the window so far. Big up Ron. I was shocked how poor Martinelli played, especially considered how well the right wing Noni did in comparison. Could not get into the Chelsea side, move him as he maybe passed his best. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Martinelli. I think Martinelli has good moments. He's got good pace, but that's really it for me. I think he really struggles with his end product. His end product is his weakness, I'd say, but I think he's going to be here, and we just have to, there's nothing else I can say with Martinelli. I think I would rather keep Trossard here. Obviously, with Trossard again, his situation is uncertain. Like, I have no idea what he's going to do. Is he going to stay here? Like, I genuinely have no idea what we're doing with Trossard. There's not been much about Trossard other than that Arsenal are open to offers with him if anything comes in. So, yeah, it's really interesting with that situation. But, yeah, for me, it's just we'll have to see what happens. But with Martin, I do agree. I do think we've all been saying this, so it's nothing we've not said before. But Martinelli has looked quite predictable. With Madueke, he was definitely a good option to have. I think he did good in the game, and hoping we're going to see a bit more of him. I would start him. I would definitely start him on the left. I would start him, Saka, and Gokres for the game coming up. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't know what we're going to do. It's up to Arsenal what the plans are, but that's how I stand on that. I saw news that Arsenal's management wants the club to improve its approach to selling players. But I feel that if they want to do that, they should also be active in buying. Yeah, exactly. We need to just buy more players, really. If we want to have a chance of doing well in the season, we need to just be ruthless and bring in the right players for our season. If Crystal Palace were serious about Len Essiger, they would have never risked him in the Community Shield. Arsenal are going to have to get their wallet out. Yeah, we need to just get it done. I agree. It is frustrating. Sorry guys, give me a second. It is frustrating with Eze because I don't know why we're just not getting it done. Like, just pay what they want. I think we have the money. I think if you sell players like a Vieira, or if you're selling, Reece Nelson, the Conga, Zinchenko, we could actually put in a bid, but I don't know. I think we want a cheaper deal for him, which I don't know why. I think we should just pay what they want. But we don't seem to be doing that. So that is, obviously, I think that's a bit frustrating. But if we're not getting Eze, we have to look somewhere else. And I don't know where else we're looking. So, yeah, I think we do need a left winger. The attacking midfield, I think we need one, but I don't think it's a big problem if we didn't have one. I think if we enter the season, I think we need more of a left winger, but I do think that we lack creativity at times. I mean, it's really difficult because every game is so different. We saw the other day we did really well, but there's going to be games where you really lack creativity. You lack stuff that you need, that moment of magic. So we need attack midfielder, we do, but I think the left winger is something that we could do with. Really, we've had a problem on the left for a while now, not just last season. It's been quite a few seasons we have looked quite predictable there. So obviously in my ideal world, I would like us to improve in that position. Big up to Aldi, I hope you're good. I absolutely don't want Arsenal to buy Lookman. He has played in the Premier League before at last at Everton Fulham, and he's not a player who can raise Arsenal's level. I mean, I don't remember watching him in the Premier League. I've only seen him where he is now. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to come to England, then move on from it. Like, happy Arsenal, I've shown interest. But, if someone doesn't want to come to Arsenal, then just move on from it. It's not the end of the world. We just have to move on and bring in the right players that are going to take us, like you said, to raise the level at Arsenal. We need level raisers at this moment in time, and I don't think we have a lot of them, to be honest. So yeah, I really think we need these sort of players. After yesterday's performance, Eze's prize confirmed. Just don't let him take penalty. Yeah, that penalty was shocking. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I watched Eze's penalty, and I just think sometimes players nowadays do too much. And I just knew that wasn't going to go. When I saw that, and I thought, Eze, just do a normal penalty. Yeah, I think if he came to Arsenal, I would want him to practice penalties. But yeah, it wasn't his best. But obviously, well done Crystal Palace as well for getting the job done. But yeah, I was a bit like, wow, Eze, you can do better than that. I was a bit surprised at his penalty, but obviously, Eze's still a great player. He's still a player that would make a massive difference in this Arsenal team. Big up front. If Arsenal's dad was only wanted by a Turkish side, and that says everything, they're not good enough for Arsenal. it's hard because, I mean, with other players, I mean, I know, for example, with Kivior or a Trossard, there has been other clubs that have been interested in them. Like, I know for Kivior, there's been a lot of, other teams interested in him. I know with Trossard, there's been many clubs. So I think another thing as well. I mean, with Kivior, I did a video about that yesterday, and it's like, I think if clubs are offering a really low price, then we shouldn't take it. So I think with Zinchenko, I don't think Zinchenko has had tons of offers. With Zinchenko, I think that there's been offers. AC Milan were interested in one point. I know Fulham, so he has had offers, but yeah, it's really interesting to see. You're not going to have a lot of offers. I mean, for Lokonga as well, there hasn't been many offers from him, and I get why there isn't because, I mean, I've not watched him when he was. I didn't watch. It's hard. I don't really watch many of the players when they're on loan unless they're sort of in the league or doing really well in Europe and stuff. But it's going to be hard to buy players like Lokonga that haven't really played much and have not done great in the league. So yeah, we have a big problem with some players. We do. Wages, injuries, all that stuff. Obviously, big up to all you guys that are here. Hope you guys obviously all good today and enjoying my show. Like I said, if you've got any questions, do obviously drop them in. I'm more than happy to go through them. And of course, guys, please do make sure you're liking this video and subscribing as well if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm hoping this week we're going to hear some more news. I hope you'll hear some more updates about Arsenal. With Eze, I think I've accepted that it's probably not going to happen. It's probably more of a dream than a reality. I do think with Eze, I do believe Arsenal want him, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. So yeah, I'm not going to do a video on Eze unless it's an actual reliable source that I think it's trustworthy, because I don't want to just do a video and it's not someone that you can trust. So yeah, if it's from like a Fabrizio or it's from David Dunson, if it's on the BBC, something like that, I would obviously do a video, but obviously at the moment it isn't quite reliable, so I don't just come in here and chat about it. Big up to Ali. How do you see Eze fitting into Arteta's system? So will he play on the left wing or compete with Odegaard? That's a good question, because I mean, everyone has their own opinion on Odegaard. I personally like Odegaard. I personally think that these last few seasons he's been a good player. He's been getting us goals. He's been really good, creating chances and just being a good all-round player. Last season he probably had his worst season, and yeah, I just feel as though that. I take with Eze, the thing is with Eze would definitely be better in the Odegaard position, but Odegaard won't be dropped. Odegaard is our captain, so I'd probably say to you that, if we're being honest, he might be on the left. I mean, I would play him in that Odegaard position. I think with Eze, the problem that I have with that is that I think Eze should be a starter in this team. Eze would be a starter in this team. If Eze comes to Arsenal, he should be automatically a starter, but yeah, it's hard really, I think, because obviously with Odegaard being that captain playing, that is going to be hard to, yeah, it's going to be tough, really will be, I mean, I'd probably, with the left, I mean, it's going to be really difficult to say how often Eze would play on the left if he did play on the left, but I think we should fit him, if he came, I think we'd have to fit him in the team some way. As you said, whether that's the left, whether that's in the Odegaard position, but Odegaard won't be dropped, so that's the position that we're in now, unfortunately. But if we had injuries, I'm sure he can step in, but Eze would come to Arsenal to be a starter, so I think this is quite difficult. Big up, Jagan, I hope you're well. Wasn't Bayern interested in Trossard at some point? Yeah, they were. There's been a lot of clubs interested in Trossard, actually, which is obviously a good thing because it shows you that he's a great top player. Fenerbahce, of course, have been interested. Bayern have been interested. So, yeah, there's definitely been a lot of players that, Trossard's a great player. I know Trossard is older now and stuff, but he's still a top player, and he still can attract, the bigger clubs. So you can still go to a bigger club, but obviously it's up to him what he wants to do with his, his future. Does he want to stay at Arsenal? Does he want to go somewhere else, get minutes? That's obviously up to him. But yeah, he has had quite a few offers, which I think is understandable because he is a good player. He will attract these top teams. He is a quality player, Trossard. So yeah, I like Trossard. I think he's a great player in the team, and I think he will have a lot of clubs will be interested in him because he's a great player. So yeah, I wasn't really surprised about that, to be honest with you. With Bayern, I think, with the Bayern thing, I think what it was I think they wanted Diaz, if they couldn't get Diaz, to get Trossard, so he was sort of the second option, but he's still a good player. I've come on this, Eze and Wharton had scouts confused. Yeah, I love that. I think I'm happy for Crystal Palace winning yesterday. Good. Do you think Arsenal should buy more younger players to become transfer market? I can't say a word, but yeah, I know what you mean. To be fair, I mean, Chelsea do actually, like you just said, Chelsea do kind of buy some of the younger players, whether that's Arsenal players with academy, and then maybe go on to sell them in the future. So it's really weird because with the academy players that we have now at Arsenal, not really. I'm not talking about Ranieri or Lewis Scully, but say players that are coming through, whether it's like Max Down and Molly Salmon, whoever comes through. I don't ever think of wanting to sell. I always think of them to be starting and being part of our future. Like with the academy players, I always hope it does work out for them. Obviously, if it doesn't, you do sell them. You get a bit of money. At Balogun, we got a bit of money for him. With Balogun, that was a weird one. I think we should have kept him, but I guess in hindsight, we got money for him. We did that, but I think it's okay. I don't mind us buying sort of youth players to maybe go on and sell them in the future. But yeah, we don't really buy many of those type of players. I mean, yeah, we got a younger squad, but I think we should do that more, to be honest with you. But Chelsea have been quite good in this window of actually getting quite a bit of money for younger players as well. But unfortunately, with the players we have, you're not going to get a lot of money for them. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be quite tough to get a big wage for them. But yeah, I'm interested to see what we'll do. Big up to Aldi. I hope Berta raises Arsenal players' price standards in the transfer market. We've been known as a cheap club for too long and not too easy to let players go for free. It's really annoying because you never want to let the players go on the free at all because, it's really frustrating. That's why, I mean, there'll be a few players that actually, I think Tim Saka, maybe Trossard, I think the contract does end pretty soon, so 2027. So I think to myself, if any of them are wanting to go in the future, I think you'd rather get money for them sooner than later. But obviously, I'm sure they'll extend the deals. But yeah, it's really hard because unfortunately, for like a Zinchenko, for Vieira, for them too, you're not going to get a lot for them. They're not good enough for the league, really, so it's going to be hard. I mean, I think Reece Nelson is a very good player. I think Reece Nelson at a club would do very good and help the club get a good amount of goals. But I think, unfortunately, because of other players that have injuries, like, I mean, Jesus is going to be hard to get a big chunk of money for him. He's been injured so much, and yeah, I'm sure he's on big wages too. So I think some of these players, it's going to be really hard to shift and get money for them. So that's the position we're in now, unfortunately, where it is really difficult to get a good amount of money for them. But we're just going to have to hope and pray that we can just move some players on and try and get as much as we can for them, because it's going to be really difficult to sell them for a big wage. It really is. I do agree with you there, because we do sell a lot of these players for very cheap, and we should be getting more money for them. We should be getting a better value for them, and we're not, which is obviously a real disappointment. It's hard. I think some players you can get a bit of money for. I mean, yeah, I think we need to learn how to do that a bit better. But I think obviously with the price for Vieira, 20 million euros, that's what you expect. So yeah, it's tough. Big up to Andy. Good to see you in the chat. New home shirt came say buzz. Oh, I'm glad you got your shirt. It's a nice shirt. I do love the kits to see. They are really nice. I think the third kit's definitely the favourite though. I love the away kit as well. We've done good this season for the kits, haven't we? Big up to Victor. Always good to see you in the chat. Hope you're keeping well. I'm good, Andy. I hope you're good too. Always good to see you in the chat. Always good to see all of you guys that are here today. Let me just answer your questions. Chelsea have sold more than anyone in Europe has spent this winter. Unfortunately, Arsenal would need to buy a sister club to park the kids if they want to follow the same model. I just think that the players we want to sell just aren't worth much, to be honest with you. I mean, the sort of squad players we have that you could potentially sell. I mean, it's a really tough one with that. I mean, with, for example, Kivior, I mean, we're not going to sell Kivior now, I don't think, but if we were wanting to sell Kivior to whether that's a sort of a Serie A team or somewhere in Italy, wherever you wanted to sell him, I would want at least 30 million for him, or 25 to 30 I'd want for him, but they're not offering that. So I think it's really difficult. I don't know why we struggle to sell for, I mean, some players I get with Zinchenko, Vieira, Lokonga, those three I get are hard to sell because it hasn't worked out in the league and they're on big wages. Jesus as well, but with some of the players, I think you should be trying to get a lot more for us. We need to demand more. I am happy though we did keep Manuel this summer, because I was thinking to myself, I was worried he would be going somewhere else. And I was like, so relieved we didn't. I'm so relieved he's still an Arsenal player for sure, but it's going to be really difficult to get money for these players. It really, really is. So we just have to demand the best and hopefully get a really good man money for these players that we're going to sell. I think we're going to see a lot of outgoings happen, really. So let's hope that goes good for us. Big up to Kevin. We got Chelsea away this week, and they won Saturday. They're on roll at the moment and will be hard to stop. Yeah, I think that'll be a tough game, to be fair. I mean, I think Crystal Palace have definitely improved, you know, a lot recently in the last year or two. So that'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Chelsea might just nick it. But I don't know how we're going to do against United. Obviously, I am doing a preview, guys, on Wednesday with United fans, so I will be live. So, you know, feel free to join me as well then. But yeah, I just don't know how we're going to do. I just hope and pray that we just win our first game of the season. That's what we want. I mean, alphabetically will be at the top, so I think we should just maintain it, Arsenal, where we are, please. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it will go. Obviously, I think we play on Sunday, so it'd be weird watching the other teams first. I'd hate to be the first game of the season, because I feel like if you mess it up, it's all eyes are on you, because everyone will be watching the first game of the season. I think it was just a game on Friday. I don't know. Obviously, don't know who plays when, but I know we play on Sunday. So, yeah. Obviously, hope you guys do good. But yeah, with Eze, it's a real weird one. I don't know if we're just being quite slow on it. We're not doing much. We're thinking about it. I don't know. But for me personally, if the club don't want to pay what Crystal Palace want, then we have to look somewhere else. My worry is we're not looking somewhere else and we're just sort of standing still. I hope we're doing stuff behind the scenes. I'm sure we are. I just wanted to read this one, actually. This is to Run. The problem is Kroenke won't do that. He'll prioritise his business in the US. He owns many sports clubs there. He thinks in a different business system, and I don't see him taking risks. I mean, obviously, I agree with that. Obviously, with US, with that team he has there, will always be his priority. I mean, I think they definitely, I mean, he himself, Kroenke, like not Josh Morstan, but he definitely thinks top four is success. And as we know, top four isn't for Arsenal. I don't think that should ever be a success. I just see success as trophies, really. And yeah, I think they definitely prioritise. Well, Stan Kroenke does. I mean, Josh Kroenke's been over here a lot more, so I think he has shown his face. Don't remember last time Stan Kroenke was actually over here. I just don't get why he owns Arsenal if he's not really here. I mean, owners are really weird nowadays. It's different to how it was back then. I mean, the owners we've had in the past, they were at Arsenal a lot. They were working with Wenger a lot, like David Dean was always with Wenger. But with now, you don't really see owners there as much. Every club is different, of course, but yeah, we don't really have the best owners. You guys know how I feel about them, but it's really weird because when we're not winning, and last season people are going to bring up Kroenke, but last few seasons we've done good, so people won't mention it. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how we get on next season, though. The season is just around the corner. This pre-season's gone so quick, so yeah, I'm interested. Big up Ron, who says, I think Chelsea will have a tougher time against Crystal Palace coming off a win. Winning mentality is a powerful thing. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think Crystal Palace, I mean, I could see a draw or 2-1 Chelsea or 2-1 Palace. It could go either way. That game is going to be exciting to watch. I think we'll have to see what happens with that game, but I'll be watching that. I'm sure they won't let you down. I'm sure they'll do good. So obviously, as you know, guys, when there is something reliable like as I'm going to be on here straight away and give you guys information. But it's really weird because like when you see stuff online and people in the comments are like, is this reliable? I'm not going to do a video on something that isn't reliable. I want to give you guys the news that is pretty much true, that is quite reliable. But with Eze, like I said, I don't think we should think about it too much. I think we should think somewhere else if we're not going to get that done. I don't know if you guys saw it, and I don't think there was much in it, but there was a video of Eze yesterday, and someone said to him something like, "Are you coming to Arsenal?" And he smiled, and I don't know about you guys, but I think he was just being friendly and just smiling and just laughing at what the guy said. I don't think he's coming to Arsenal. I think if we wanted to get it done, we could have done it by now. I don't. The other option I may think is that we wanted to sell some players before we get Eze. I'm not sure really what we're going to do, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, big up to you guys that are here. Hope you guys are enjoying my show. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, do drop them in. I'll probably be on here for an hour today. So yeah, if you guys got any questions, do obviously send them through. And of course, guys, please make sure you're liking as well and subscribing to my channel. Big up to Aldi again. That's right. So for Kroenke, regularly qualifying for Champions League is profit for them, and that's enough. He only wants profit and doesn't really care about trophies. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember last time he was actually present at Arsenal. Kroenke, like Stan Kroenke, he gets Josh Kroenke to come over. But yeah, it's. I just think they're just. I don't think they're good owners. I don't think they're good owners. But I will say they have given Arteta a lot of money. That's what I will say. So I think they've given him money and just let him do the thing. Let him do. I think they've given Arteta money and just said to him, "Just do your thing," and hope he does well. But it's really it's been interesting with the Kroenkes. I'm not big on them, to be honest with you, but as long as we're winning stuff, we have been close to winning titles though. So I think I just needs to get us over that line, really, to be completely honest with you guys. Big up Connell, I hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. Afternoon, have you heard City are considering Rodrigo? God, I won't be surprised about that. I haven't really heard that, to be fair, but I wouldn't be surprised. I love it. Look on my socials, to be fair. I'm just wondering, Man City are considering move after Rodrigo. Obviously, Grealish is just going to go to Everton, which would be interesting. I think that's a loan deal, but that'd be interesting. I mean, how would he do that? I have no idea. But yeah, there's been some interesting moves this window. I'm not going to lie to you, but I hope it all works out for them. I'm sure Bertha's working hard behind the scenes. I just hope the transfer process for Eze, whoever the thing will be, is completed before the season starts. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a massive problem if we bring someone in a bit later. Like, as long as we get someone through the door, obviously that's all that matters. So, yeah, I do hope that we can just get that done ASAP. Hope that whoever comes through, we can just get that done. But yeah, I think for me, we just need to just bring in someone that can just, like people said, that will raise the level, that will just help us in those games that we need, that we're struggling. We need to just have players in the team that will help us when we need someone to change the game or have a moment of magic or give us a bit of creativity in the game. We just need that. So I don't honestly know. I've no idea what we're doing next, but I definitely sense now is the time for outgoings to happen. I think we're going to see a lot of outgoings. So that's what we want anyway. I do want to see a lot of outgoings because we need to move on players. We need to just be ruthless and get players out the door as soon as we can. So, yeah, I'm quite happy if we do that. Then fair enough, that's good for us to do that. But yeah, like we said, I'm sure the club are actually doing stuff, but it probably doesn't feel like that right now because we're not seeing much happen. Big up Cooper, bless Sophie in the chat. Big up Cooper, always good to see you in the chat. Hope you're well. Cooper always said, smash the likes and subscribe. Thank you so much, Cooper, for your support. And of course, guys, feel free to like and subscribe here if you haven't already. Listening to Parish interview today, Gray, related to go. We need Galashner, not Eze. Yeah, with Guehi, I think he's a top player. I know we were interested in him at some point, but I think he wouldn't be a starter at Arsenal, and he wants to be a starter. So I obviously completely get that. But yeah, we just need someone that's going to improve this team in the attack. The attack, like obviously, we've only brought in 2 sort of attacking players, haven't we? Gakpo is going to raise levels. Him and Zubimendi, I think, are going to be great. I feel excited for the season too. Obviously, Gakpo gave us that excitement, but I do think we need someone else. I do think Madueke will be a good player as well. So, yeah, I do feel excited for the season coming up for sure. Oh, good question. Thank you so much, Ron. Who's the most vulnerable manager in the Premier League? I think it's got to be Brentford's Keith Andrews. I wonder who the top 4 goes. The team is a poor start. That is a good question. Yeah, I think I don't know who I think would be the most vulnerable. what I will say is a team that I think might struggle this season. I think West Ham might struggle. I think I just think they've lost a few players. And I think they're going to struggle. Yeah, Brentford. I think Brentford might. Yeah, I think Brentford are going to struggle. Brentford have moved on quite a few players. They've got, they've lost a really great manager, so I think they'll struggle. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see, guys, who will be the first manager to be sacked. That'll be interesting. That really will be exciting to see what happens with that. But yeah, yeah, I think it'll be a Brentford or West Ham possibly. But I am interested to see what happened there. Obviously, guys, you're more than welcome to sponsor on sort of comment here because I'm interested to see what you guys think as well. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I think top six. I mean, I do believe this. I mean, I do see United. I mean, United won't be in the top four for me, or the top six. I think they might finish maybe sixth to eighth, but I think they'll definitely be better. I think Spurs have added some quality as well, so I think it's going to be really competitive. I think the top four as well. I mean, not in order because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I will probably do a predictions video about top four, who's going to league, who's going to be relegated, but I generally don't. I'm still sat here. I still don't know if we're gonna. I can't predict where I think Arsenal will finish. I generally have no idea because I do generally think we'll win something this season. I do have that belief that we'll do that. But on the other hand, I really just don't know. I have no idea if we're gonna, win the league. I don't know if I think if that maybe second for Arsenal. I don't know. I think I need another. I think I need us to buy another attacker for me to feel more convinced about our season. Um, Apparently, most of the top sides are focused on moving up players before buying. Yeah, I think so. I really do. We did that the other way. We brought in players and now we're moving players on. But yeah, you have to move players on. Every club needs to in order to bring more players in. Big up, Connell. Hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. Feel so bad for Palace. Shocking decision that they're not playing in Europa League next season, but I think that might boost our chance of getting Eze if we're serious about signing him. Yeah, I think it's a harsh decision. Yeah, I don't think that's fair on Palace at all, but ultimately it is what it is with that. I think, it's happened. It's just I just feel bad for them. It's not really good for them, is it? It's not fair for them either. So I think with that, they just have to rise above it and, you know, keep the heads up. But obviously for us, is it a situation where it could be better for us? Could we get Eze? I really got a better chance of getting Eze. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, you guys, I do generally think Arsenal want Eze, but I don't know if we're going to actually pay what they want. That's the only thing I would say about that situation. So it's a very interesting, situation to be fair. But yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, I do feel bad for Palace with that, but I think they're still a really good season. I don't think that will stop them or I think they'll still do really well. But yeah, it's really interesting with that. I think we just have to make sure that we just get someone through the door. We need to get someone through the door. It's about getting bodies through the door. We've obviously got to do that, so I'm hoping that we will do that. But yeah, interested to see how it's going to go for us in the season. And yeah, guys, if you've got any questions, do obviously drop them in. I will be ending this in about 15 minutes time. But yeah, obviously, guys, if you've got any questions, drop them in, and please, make sure you're liking and subscribing. I'll probably won't be live later, guys, but I'll be back tomorrow, obviously on Wednesday as well. I'm doing a preview with a United fans, so I'll be on here about 7 p.m. on Wednesday as well. Yeah, chat for United fans. So yeah, excited for that, but I'm interested to see how we're actually gonna do coming to the season. I mean, it's so crazy that the league's back so soon. It's just gone so quick. I think pre-season has gone quick. Maybe I've enjoyed it because Arsenal have been just a bit of stress, but I've enjoyed it. Probably got you guys. I think because of the new Champions League format, it's becoming more important to have a strong bench. Yeah, I think you've always got to have a really solid backup as well. I mean, for Arsenal, we're quite lucky now because, for example, like our back four, if we had to change that completely, I mean, for me, I would definitely be starting Timber over Ben White. I mean, it's really difficult because they're both great players. They have different qualities, but I think if you're looking at our second sort of team, you could probably put in a few different players. Ben White, Mosquera, Kivior, Calafiori. Midfield, maybe seeing Norgard. I'd probably still play maybe Norgard's Mendy / Rice, or that's where you want Eze, because you want another sort of team you can play. Obviously, in the attacking, you've got Martinelli or Trossard, you obviously got Ranieri, you've got Havertz, so we've got a good sort of backup team if we need to make any big changes. But kind of thoughts on the left wing, he looked good in my opinion. I think him and Gakpo are going to link up well. Yeah, I thought he did really good. I mean, before he came on, I think it was the same sort of we've seen on the left. I think Martinelli had good moments, but again, his end product wasn't particularly great. And I'm generally so tired of saying the same thing about Martinelli, but his end product wasn't particularly amazing. I don't know why it was a big surprise to people that Madueke was playing on left. That's where I expect him to be playing anyway. He's come in. He's not gonna be on the bench. He's gonna be a starter. We've paid that amount of money for him. He's not gonna be a squad player, someone that'll be a rotation player. I'd be surprised if he was, but I think he did really good. Like you said, him and Gokras, I think they'd be great together. He was very direct. He wasn't afraid to take players on or whip across in the box or get past players. I think he was quite good, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel what I'd say about him, I'm intrigued about. I want to see a bit more of him. I want to see what else he can bring to the team. So yeah, I do think he's a great player to have in the team. And yeah, like I said, I feel fascinated by him. I feel like he's gonna give you that energy and life in the team which you need. And to be honest with you guys, on the left hand side, it isn't really equal to the right. The right hand side, we do a lot of work on the right, and on the left, it isn't as balanced. So I'm hoping with Madueke, that'll be more balanced in playing there. So yeah, I'm very excited and intrigued to see what he brings to the team, and hopefully he'll definitely bring us that energy and life in the game that we absolutely need from him. So yeah, I do feel excited about him. Big up to Ron. I feel bad for Crystal Palace because I think it was unfair saying that it might be a blessing in disguise, as they would be a strong shout to win a Conference League. Not too bad in winning. Yeah, it's a shame. I think if you're a Crystal Palace player, you would feel quite hard done by, I'd be quite upset. But I think what I'd say is you just have to keep on going, not let it, define you, not let it set you back. But yeah, it is a shame. And it's a shame because some of those players do deserve to be playing in that competition, do deserve to be at that level, and they've worked really hard all season. So I think it's a shame for Crystal Palace, but maybe it's a good chance for us to try and get Eze. I don't know. Eze is a player that does deserve to be playing in these big competitions in, Europa League, Champions League. I know he's won 2 trophies, so that's really good for him as well. So I'm hoping that help him want to win more stuff. But yeah, I do agree with that. But yeah, a good fair comment there, to be honest with you. But obviously appreciate all of you guys that are here. I will be ending this in a few minutes, guys. But yeah, obviously I really appreciate your support. For those that have watched my show today, obviously thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I will be back. You might see some, I might do some pre-recorded videos throughout the day, but I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for watching my show today. I've generally had a lovely time chatting with all of you. Thank you to everyone that's watched my show and tuned in. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe as well, like my video. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, I'll let you guys know when my next live stream is as well. But obviously, thank you for all of you that have tuned in today. And yeah, I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.